Day 5 of the search for Parker Wells.
Maybe a fresh set of eyes, or maybe we'll lure him out of hiding. I don't know.
As new video was released of the 11-year-old last Thursday, desperation grows.
My heart aches for that family.
Plus property damage, fallen trees, and a big cleanup.
It's been a very active summer for severe storms.
More than 24 tornadoes already, the latest in Rocky Mountain House. And brace yourself for a milk shortage.
Maybe 20 lucky customers could get their, like their usual cappuccinos or lattes.
Calgary coffee shops in a real froth about possibly running out of key ingredients.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. 175 tips from the public, hundreds of hours of surveillance video, and still no sign of 11-year-old Parker Wells, the young boy who disappeared from his day home last week. It is day 5 of the search. Tyson Fedor joins us from Thorncliffe tonight. Tyson, police have released some new surveillance footage of Parker, and they're continuing to ask everyone to search their properties.
Well, Tara, every minute that passes by is crucial in the search for 11-year-old Parker Wells. This is the command post that the police have set up since last Friday. It's been an activation hub for volunteers and for police officers heading out on these searches. But at this point, the police are reiterating that they need the public's help in bringing home Parker. New surveillance video of 11-year-old Parker Wells has been released. This video is from last Thursday and shows Parker without a shirt walking near Busy McKnight Boulevard and Center Street. It was captured nearly 20 minutes before this video when Parker is wandering along a residential Travis Crescent directly north of that business location.
These files, searches of this degree, are very, very rare in Calgary.
Search efforts ramped up over the weekend searching for Parker, who is nonverbal and has autism. Thursday, he was reported missing from his day home, some of his clothing found shortly after. He was then captured on 2 separate security cameras before police notified the public of his disappearance, and an Alberta emergency alert was issued over the weekend.
He needs us, he needs the position that he's in. He needs as much help as possible.
Hundreds of volunteers signed up with Stephen Fan, who is coordinating searches.
My heart aches for that family. They've indicated that they would like us to focus our search within this area.
Residents have left food and water out for Parker, who police say you should not approach, as he may be scared and functions at the level of a 2 or 3-year-old.
Just because a door is locked does not mean that Parker's not on the other side.
However, with the search into day 5, every minute he is not found without access to water or food could become dangerous.
We're going to keep hoping that he's alive, and we are going to keep acting as if he is alive.
Police say he could be hiding in garages, sheds, or under decks.
This is going to take everyone in order to be able to find him, because there are so many places in Calgary where a child of this size could hide.
So the investigation, depending on what we find in the next 12 hours, the next 24 hours, the next 36 hours, we will respond with the best possible resource we have.
Juliana Mello's son, Paulo, is also autistic. Paulo went searching with his friend over the weekend.
They know the mindset. So I said, search where you would hide, or where you think your friends would hide.
And Monday, he asked her to help, their vehicle now covered in posters.
I felt this great anxiety, and I love Calgary so much that if we could, maybe a fresh set of eyes, or maybe we'll lure him out of hiding.
Tyson joins us again. Police say they've been dealing with artificial intelligence in both positive and negative ways through this investigation. Tyson.
Well, Tara, police saying today that artificial intelligence has put a hinder on this case in a sense, as people are sharing and creating AI images of Parker. They're also putting out factually incorrect information about the status of where he is at and where he might be. They're saying that anyone who is looking at potentially even sharing this, not to do so, and actually factually check what is accurate. Police are putting that out on social media as well. So this is a big time for information to be correct at this point. However, police are using AI to help decipher through some of the CCTV footage that has already been submitted to them. It's hundreds of hours. They're using AI to actually get through that in just a matter of minutes. Tara?
Okay, Tyson, thank you. Disney songs from their vehicles in hopes that might attract Parker and encourage him to come out if he is nearby. The disappearance of 11-year-old Parker is prompting calls for changes to Alberta's emergency alert system. A Calgary mother says there should be a faster public alert system, even when there's no evidence there's been an abduction. Kevin Green reports.
Jen Ball is the mother of 7-year-old Holt. He's autistic, and she says kids like him and Parker, who is presently missing, can face immediate danger if they wander.
They will walk into traffic immediately and not have any cognition that there's a car coming and it could injure them. They are just in their own little happy bubble most of the time.
Ball says she didn't realize Amber Alerts are only used in suspected abductions.
I didn't truly understand what an Amber Alert was. I truly thought that it was a missing child, point blank, period. I didn't realize that there was such a gap in the system in that it's only for child abductions.
She started a petition calling for a new alert.
And we make it so that it is for all children, all missing children, or we create something called an indigo alert. And it's specific. The color of autism awareness is indigo.
The Missing Children Society of Canada says too many alerts could lead to alert fatigue. Police already use the Child Search Network to send alerts, but people have to sign up to receive those.
It is a system that only police can operate, and it was specifically designed so that police could activate an alert immediately when the escalation risk happened outside of Amber Alert.
Police did use that in Parker's case. Then they approached the province and an emergency alert was issued 2 days after Parker went missing. But police don't want to talk about alerts right now.
There is going to be plenty of time to quarterback any decisions on this investigation afterwards. Our primary focus will be on Parker and must remain on Parker.
In a statement to CTV, the province says in the coming months we will be reviewing the alert system to identify best practices used across the country and assess whether any improvements can be made, ensuring Albertans have the most effective tools possible to help bring missing children and vulnerable people home. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
For more information about the Child Search Network, including how to register for geographically targeted SMS alerts, you can visit our website. The entire city of Kimberley, BC is now under an evacuation alert as a number of wildfires burn out of control to the west of that community. The fast-moving Matthew Creek wildfire is burning about 15 kilometers west of Kimberley. It's burning in steep terrain that is unsafe for crews to reach directly. More than 9,000 residents are being told to be ready to get out on short notice. Conditions improved a bit today, but the fire continues to burn out of control, covering about 570 hectares.
It is hot and dry, and it is forecast to continue being hot and dry. But with those winds backing off, the fire behavior over the last 24 hours, the overnight period and into this morning, has been more of a rank 1 and rank 2.
Helicopters are dropping buckets of water at the fire's edge to try to slow its advance. Let's bring Danielle in now. We're starting to see a little bit of that smoke coming into Alberta.
Yes, and we're at a 3 right now in Calgary. So when you look at 3, that's on the lower end with regards to risk on that air quality health index. Calgary's at a 3, Lethbridge, Medicine Hat as well. But check out what's happening in Edmonton at a 10 plus, Grand Prairie at a 10 plus. So absolutely horrible air quality there because it's at the top of the scale. When I advance this, you can see that we're going to get that flow out of the north. We're already starting to get that, and that's going to bring in some of that smoky air. So over these next 24 to 48 hours, you will certainly notice at times it will be a little smoky, but for us in Calgary and southern Alberta, it should just carry us to the moderate end of the scale. So we're not looking at getting as bad as they are in central Alberta, which is why they have warnings there, but you will notice our air quality deteriorate as we head through these next couple of days. 22 degrees right now at the airport. That's a normal daytime high for this time of year. Tomorrow will be hotter, 26 degrees. With the humidity, it will feel closer to 29. And again, it will be on the smoky side at times as well, Tara.
Get in now. Students and staff at Mount Royal University are concerned and frustrated after a cyber attack targeting the school last month compromised the sensitive information of thousands of people. As Alicia Fieldberg reports, it's leaving many people's lives in limbo and opening calls for a larger investigation into the university.
Summer courses are in session at Mount Royal University, but students and staff say it's not school as usual, more than a month after a cyber attack impacting several university services.
I almost missed my tuition payment. and I almost got dropped out of my school because I didn't know where to check or what to do.
On June 18th, MRU reported a cyber breach. Weeks later, it revealed someone unauthorized accessed and erased data from some university computer folders in a ransomware attack. MRU says it's trying to recover the data, but it might not be possible to get everything back. Security experts say CMD organization is taking responsibility for the attack, and it already leaked some private information online to attract buyers.
However, the auction site for the university's data has now disappeared. Does this mean that they've sold it to the highest bidder, or has the university paid a ransom?
In the meantime, students can't register for classes or access information, including transcripts needed to apply for other universities. Some former students can't even apply for certain jobs without these documents, including one who spoke anonymously since MRU said her information was compromised.
I'm quite frustrated and stressed out about it all, kind of raising the question of like when I'm going to be able to move forward with my life. And then the lack of communication has been really frustrating as well.
Many also worry about the long-term risks after their personal information was exposed, including some who have been targeted by stalkers.
Thousands of people's lives who are now impacted, and we're going on over a month now.
MRU is offering credit monitoring to current and former employees, but not to students. Some say it's too little too late and want the province to investigate.
There needs to be an investigation into the decision-making and the operation and management of this university, because we're talking hundreds of millions of tax dollars. This not only is an erosion of the reputation of the institution, but for those of faculty like myself who focus on security and public safety, it's an embarrassment.
Alicia joins us from campus tonight. Alicia, this isn't the only recent security incident that's raising concerns.
Tara, in April, someone was spotted on campus carrying a large knife. The university was locked down, but an emergency alert did not go out on the MRU app. There was an email that was sent around, but it didn't mention anything about a weapon. Now, it turns out that it was a chef walking around with a knife, so not actually a threat, but at the time, people were calling it a wake-up call for MRU to review its security protocol. 2 months later is when this cyber attack happened. Now, MRU told us that it gave a statement to us today saying it recognizes the cyber incident is concerning. It continues to work with law enforcement and to focus on full restoration of services. They have reported this to Calgary Police Services and the Alberta Information and Privacy Commissioner as well. Tara?
Okay, Alicia, thank you.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
The provincial government is reminding people about the dangers of invasive fish with a picture of a giant goldfish. This goldfish was recovered from a stormwater pond in Okotoks. It's about 30 centimeters across. That is roughly the size of a dinner plate. The province says you should never release aquarium pets, water garden plants, live food, sport fish, or live bait into Alberta waters and storm drains. Invasive species pose a big risk to native ecosystems. The province has an aquatic invasive species hotline to report any sightings. A design for a new river surfing hotspot in Calgary has now been released. Flood mitigation work is needed along the Bow River under the Louise Bridge and 10th Street. But the plans also include an adjustable wave for surfing and whitewater kayaking. The project also proposes a large public seating area with improved water access. The area had long been a spot for river surfing, but high stream flows and debris made it unusable in recent years.
There are a lot of hazards in the area. Having a wave that is built and is adjustable not only means that we would get a surfable wave many months of the year, but we would have a safer area with less hazards for things.
The mitigation work and wave installation is expected to cost $12 million. A construction date has not been set, but the work could take up to 3 years. Just ahead, torn up by a tornado. The damage caused by a twister on a farm south of Edmonton. And a cross-border clash over wildfire smoke, the reality check on Donald Trump's criticism, and the new tariffs he has imposed on Canada. Mounties confirmed today Saskatchewan Rough Rider team captain Jaden Dulkey was driving on the wrong side of the road when he crashed head-on into another vehicle. Dulkey died, and so did the other driver. Officers say they found alcohol and cannabis inside Dulkey's SUV. The 30-year-old linebacker from Leduc had been traveling on a highway northwest of Regina Saturday night when the crash happened. The driver of the other vehicle, 22-year-old Bhishma Rajaguru, was also killed. A GoFundMe page has been set up to take his body back to India. Neither vehicle had any passengers. RCMP also revealed details about Dulkey's movements leading up to the double fatal crash.
We received a report around 8:27 p.m. from a business in Lumsden of a silver SUV leaving without paying for fuel that same day, about 30 minutes prior. Investigation has determined that this was the same silver SUV that was involved in the collision.
Police say they are awaiting the results of an autopsy and toxicology reports. Dulkey was signed by the Riders in 2022 and helped lead the team to a Grey Cup win last year. Cleanup is underway around Rocky Mountain House after a tornado touched down Saturday night. For one family, it is a job they expect will take weeks, if not months. Here's Amanda Anderson.
So all of a sudden you could hear a whirring sound, and then bang. And that's when we just ran for the basement, went and hid. And about 30 seconds later, it was over.
30 seconds, and this is the destruction Bryn Hansen and his grandmother looked outside to see.
It was crazy. I didn't know how to react even.
They weren't hurt, but couldn't go outside initially because a power pole had fallen right outside the house. 4 vehicles and several buildings were damaged, some beyond repair. Their shop, which once stood in this spot, was ripped clear off its foundation.
We're just thankful it didn't hit the house, really. We still have somewhere to live.
On the street leading to their family farm, crews are working to clear down trees.
Amazing how much power a tornado has, and how lucky the town is that it only hit a very small segment of our town. If it was, 200 meters west, we would have been in a lot different situation.
Several people captured video of the tornado. Millie Toledo was at work when it hit.
It was really scary for me just to see it through my own eyes.
The Northern Tornadoes Project says this is the worst tornado season in about a decade.
From 2017 onwards, we have never had more than 23 tornadoes in Alberta until this year, and we have 26 this year, and it's July. There's still around a month of peak tornado season.
Cleanup alone on the Hansen farm is expected to take a few weeks, even with dozens of family and community members here helping. But since Hansen's grandparents didn't have insurance, they're hoping to raise money to rebuild and make repairs through a GoFundMe.
The community's been a lot of help. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's been hard times, so happy to have all the help.
The Northern Tornadoes Project still has a team on the ground surveying damage. They're looking at an area from southwest of Rocky Mountain House to north of Codner, which is about 10 minutes from here. They expect to release more information about the tornado's path, its width, and rating on Tuesday. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Rocky Mountain House.
Edmonton was hit by another big storm this weekend. Parts of Yellowhead Trail were washed out, stranding vehicles and people in deep water. Trees were downed and some bridges and sidewalks buckled. Crews are working to clean it up and the pumps are working 24/7, but it will take some time to move all that water out. Edmonton has seen record rainfall this year. Nearly 1,000 active wildfires are burning across Canada tonight, with evacuation alerts in parts of BC and northern Ontario. The fires stretch from Yukon to Labrador, and intense smoke continues to waft across the U.S. border, carrying health concerns and fueling political tension. A fired-up Ontario premier today responded to threats of punitive measures from the U.S. president over that drifting smoke. Ford says instead of threats of tariffs, President Trump should send help to fight the wildfires. It came after the U.S. leader said he spoke to Prime Minister Carney about the smoke that was blanketing some American cities.
We got to stop the fires up there. If we can help them, we'll help them. But maybe they should pay us some damages or something, or we should do some tariffs.
Rather than criticize and threaten Canada, your closest friends, maybe one day you're going to need our help like you did last year, and we deployed the people. I get frustrated just listening to that bunch of rubbish.
Late this afternoon, Trump announced a new 50% tariff on some Canadian goods for what his administration characterizes as discriminatory trade policies against crucial American exports of cars, alcohol, and dairy. The tariffs take effect in 30 days. So is there something Canada should be doing to prevent the fires and stop the southern flow of smoke? Is Donald Trump right to suggest wildfire mismanagement? CTV's Heather Wright gives us a reality check on policy and prevention.
Nearly 1,000 wildfires are burning across Canada right now, most of them caused by lightning, and many considered out of control.
These fires are so intense that you almost can't fight them. You almost have to move people away from the fire zone, and even water bombers can't do it. It's almost you need weather. I mean, weather caused many of them, and weather has to put them out.
And while fires are part of the natural ecosystem in northern Canada, climate change means summers are warmer, the vegetation is drier, making fires more extreme.
We have had bad fire seasons in the past, but we have bad fire seasons more often now because of climate change. That's quite obvious.
This year is already rivaling 2023, the most destructive fire season in Canadian history. Thousands of people have been evacuated from their homes and air quality has been impacted in major cities across North America. But forestry professor David Martel refutes claims that these fires are caused by forest mismanagement.
There's no truth whatsoever to those. We know how to manage forests and we know how to manage fire. But however, we cannot extinguish every fire that occurs, and sometimes these agencies get overwhelmed.
Experts say the biggest contributing factor to intensifying forest fires is climate change, but there are things communities can do to protect themselves. That could include constructing fire breaks, clearing debris along the perimeter of town, and building homes with fire-safe material. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Spring Danielle back in as we look ahead to our 5-day forecast. Certainly some changeable days in there as we start to see smoke moving in.
Yeah, when you look at the fires happening in BC and what's happening up north and the way the jet stream goes, it's basically just kind of following along and circling around and will be filtered in a little bit in southern Alberta. We're not going to get the worst of it, but we certainly will have poorer air quality heading through the next couple of days than what we have at the moment. 22 degrees is the temperature in Calgary, so temperatures are where they should be for this time of year. That's our daytime high. A normal daytime high for this time of year is 23 degrees. So temperatures are where they should be, but humidity is going to start building in as well. So it will feel closer to that 30 mark for tomorrow. The heat is back and it's here to stay for a longer term, and we are looking at more stable, dry weather, a long stretch of it. So likely adding more wildfire situations. So we'll have to see where we are with the smoke as well, given those circumstances. All right, 24 degrees in Brooks, 27 Medicine Hat, 22 in Banff. When you look at watches and warnings, these are all the warnings in place in this gray-black color, but you can see it's more elevated as you track to the north because this is an orange level and this is a yellow level. Yellow level less severe in around Edmonton area and then more severe off to the north. Either way you look at it, though, they are getting horrible air conditions right now. Air quality in Edmonton at this moment is a 10+, Grand Prairie as well. We're not going to get the worst of it, but we're going to go from this 3 that we're at in Calgary, Lethbridge, further to the south, we're in the 3s as well. We're going to go from that to about a 4, 5, even a 6. Which, if you look at the scale here, we're going to get into that moderate level over these next couple of days. And you'll notice it in waves. And that's because we have that air filtering in from the north, so it will bring in some smokier conditions. It's also bringing down a little bit of rainfall, less likely to see it in Calgary, but you could run into a couple raindrops. It's just a much smaller chance of us getting that. We will have some cloud cover at times. We will have some humidity, and we will have some smokier conditions at times. But overall, these next couple of days look very stable, as you can see right here, except for later on Wednesday. There may be a little bit of activity out in the QE2 tracking down the Trans-Canada. Here's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast. 26 tomorrow, feeling closer to 29 with that humidity. So again, a little smoky at times as well, bring us to the moderate level, and then 28 for Wednesday and getting into the 30s Thursday, Friday, and the weekend.
Construction of the revamped Olympic Plaza and expansion to the Workland building is costing a little more than planned. We have the latest on a new funding request for a project meant to revitalize the old Arts Commons. And later, grocery stores across Alberta are facing bare milk shelves after an unexpected electrical issue at a dairy production facility. Those details still to come. Albertans now have the option to request a mail-in ballot for the referendum in October. All eligible voters in Alberta have the right to request a special ballot. The referendum itself, featuring 10 different questions, is on October 19th. The deadline for Elections Alberta to receive your special ballot is October 16th. To obtain a mail-in ballot, visit specialballot.elections.ab.ca. Advance polls for the referendum will open October 13th. MP Dane Lloyd will be the federal Conservatives referendum lead for Alberta. Pierre Poilievre announced the appointment in a statement on Sunday. The Conservative caucus member has been instructed to listen to Albertans and address their concerns. Lloyd has been MP for the Sturgeon County Parkland riding since 2017. Redevelopment of Calgary's Arts Commons remains a priority for City Council and those at the Workland Centre. But gaps in funding, along with rising costs, are creating some new challenges for the project. Moses Woldu explains.
Across from City Hall, the transformation of Olympic Plaza is underway. It's part of 3 projects to revitalize downtown. The city says 2 of those projects, the plaza and the new Arts Commons building, are on time and on budget. However, the modernization work, which includes renovations to the existing Workland building, is facing escalating costs. An initial projection of $270 million is now up to $345 million.
We got a little bit further on. We're up to a Class B estimate now, so we have a more accurate estimate in terms of what the cost of the building might be.
The Workland Centre is doubling its funding request to the city and is now asking for $125 million. The increased costs factor in inflation and making sure the building is up to code and life cycle maintenance.
It's not only just a cost escalation, but there's also a scope increase as well, just to make that project that much better.
The province has committed $103 million towards all 3 projects, while $74.5 million is committed through private and philanthropic donations.
So we are very hopeful and optimistic about that. And the philanthropic money, Calgary individuals and donors and families have stepped up and exceeded all expectations.
However, construction on the Workland building will not begin until the money is secured.
I think what everyone should want is a project that's fully funded when you start. It's you can manage the costs, you can manage the project, and you can really understand where you're going.
The federal government says it has invited the group to submit an application for infrastructure funding. Sarian says the current building is in need of major upgrades.
Our current facility is over 40 years old, and like we all know, life cycle becomes increasingly a challenge.
The rising price tag has prompted questions from councillors as they prepare to debate Calgary's next 4-year budget.
Plus or minus 10% is great, but let's get that down even tighter, because a 10% increase on $340 million is still a very material amount of money.
I look forward to the conversation in November as we sit down and take a look at all the priorities.
Moses Woldu, CTV News, Calgary.
While work on the current Workland building hasn't started, work and completion of Olympic Plaza and the Workland expansion is expected to be finished by 2028. Calgary Wild FC has gone to the dogs. We'll tell you about a new canine connection forged between players and one very pretty pooch. Members of Calgary Wild FC are embracing the dog days of summer, and for a good cause. This is Berkeley from the Calgary Humane Society. The team is hoping to help find her a home and raise awareness for the Humane Society. At Wednesday's match against the Ottawa Rapid, those who purchased a ticket have the option to make a donation to the Humane Society, and it will be matched by up to $1,000.
If there's any way we can use our platform to help get these animals a home, I think it's such a special thing we get to do, and I know a lot of us are dog lovers, so it was special that we could be a part of it.
Kickoff for that game is 7 p.m. at McMahon Stadium. That is one nice looking dog.
Yeah.
Well, rescuers pulled out all the stops recently to save a little dog spotted swimming alone in the San Francisco Bay.
Oh. My goodness.
Really alone. Witnesses alerted authorities saying the dog ran into the water and then just kept going after spotting the pooch. An effort was launched by air and by sea, and the tiny treading pup was literally scooped up and brought back to dry land.
Oh.
That poor little dog was shivering, but its heroes gave it plenty of love and warmth until a local SPCA was able to reunite it with its family, who had actually been looking for that dog since July 4th.
Oh my goodness.
Probably got spooked by fireworks, ran away, and has been missing for a week.
What a tough little pup.
Poor little thing. Now, if that pup had been as well equipped as this pup you're about to see, he might not have run into as much trouble. This is Maya, the little Chihuahua's ready for a dip in the pool, but I mean, obviously safety first, right? So she's wearing her life jacket. She's very tiny. You need your life jacket when you're that small. She doesn't know how to swim yet. She's still learning, but she'll be a pro.
Oh,
in
look
no
at
time.
that. Yeah, look at that form. That's good.
Yeah, she's got good form. She just needs a little help with the floating.
I love the life jacket in the little puddle pool. Just in case.
Well, this little critter is also taking the internet by storm, and you're about to see why.
What am I looking at?
Good question. This confounding critter has been caught on cameras all over Seattle. Spherical in shape, I think we could safely say. That's a raccoon.
No.
He's been named Jimothy. That's his nickname. A local vet believes Jimothy has a congenital spine shortening disease, so the little raccoon is rather rotund, but has achieved legendary status. Now there is fan art and photos, and everyone's talking about Jimothy.
The most popular raccoon in the world.
Yeah. Everyone knows who Jimothy in Seattle is.
Oh.
The cost of many things Canadians buy is down slightly. We'll break down those details in our business report for you. Stay with us.
Okay, your Skywatch weather camera. Certainly some cloud cover out there. You may even run into a couple raindrops, but that chance is actually quite small in the city. There are some pockets, a lot of it evaporating before it even hits the ground. 22 degrees is our current temperature. Today's high 22 and normal's 23. So temperatures are right where we should be for this time of year, but we're heading up from here. It's going to be hot and hot for a longer stretch. I'll show you that in the 10-day forecast in just a second. So there's that active weather in central Alberta. Again, a lot of it is weakening and really dying out as it tracks down. So there's a small chance of getting the rainfall in Calgary. And if you run into it, it should be just a couple raindrops and then out. So nothing significant headed for us right now, just some cloud cover at times, a breeze at times. Tomorrow kicking off the day at 17 degrees and our high will be 26, but it will feel closer to 29 with that humidity. So the heat's really going to start building in once again. That's your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Speaking of heat, 35 in Salmon Arm for tomorrow, 37 in Kamloops and Kelowna. Wow. 24 in through Edmonton and Red Deer, Olds. Coronation will likely see some active weather tomorrow. 28 for Drumheller, 29 for Medicine Hat, 27 for Lethbridge. And again, this will come with smoky conditions at time that will put us up to the moderate level of that air quality health index. We're low now, moderate as we head through tomorrow. Really the next couple days that's possible. And check out this longer term heat when you look at our 10-day trend. Lots of days in the 30s coming up here, Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. It is day 5 of the search for 11-year-old Parker Wells in Calgary. Newly released CCTV video shows the boy walking near McKnight Boulevard and Centre Street Northwest on Thursday. He disappeared from his day home earlier that day. The mayor of Kimberley, BC, says his community's fate depends on the mercy of the wind. The city is on evacuation alert due to an out-of-control wildfire about 10 kilometers away. And many Mount Royal University students and staff are concerned about a cyber attack impacting several services. They say they are stressed out over the effects on their lives and they are frustrated over a lack of communication. If you thought the dairy aisle was looking a little bit emptier than usual, you're right. Alberta is facing a milk shortage due to a Dairyland factory issue. Tommy Osborne has the details on what it means for many small Calgary businesses.
We're hooped and we're SOL.
Frustration for Calgary small business owners as a Dairyland factory issue has caused a milk shortage across Alberta.
If we don't have milk, they'll go elsewhere and buy their stuff elsewhere. And now they're saying that we might get our milk on our regular days, it's not for sure yet.
Saputo, Dairyland's parent company, says an unexpected electrical issue at its Edmonton fluid production facility temporarily impacted production and supply. All over Calgary, dairy cases are empty and grocery stores are posting signs apologizing for the milk shortage and limiting purchases. Saputo expects service levels to be normal by the end of the week, but even 1 week of uncertainty can cause notable challenges for small business.
We had no way of finding any other milk because all our local suppliers take a week in advance to order.
It could be a possible worry for coffee shops because there will be obviously like a supply disruption.
Some cafes like Kava say things have been okay for now, but should their bulk orders from grocery stores not go through, it could cause headaches, especially since some stores are restricting sales.
If just 2 milks, only maybe 20 lucky customers could get their, like their usual cappuccinos or lattes.
It would mean my boss driving to all the grocery stores to find it.
Cafe Bino uses around 24-liter jugs of milk a day and Kava 6, so any shortage would quickly be felt by customers.
Only a few lucky customers who usually get their drinks with milk would be able to get their proper milk, right?
Saputo would not comment on how much milk was spoiled due to the facility issue. Tommy Osborne, CTV News, Calgary.
Saputo says it hopes to minimize the impacts by leaning on its national operational and supply network. It says recovery plans at the Edmonton facility are progressing well. Some parents may notice more in their bank accounts today with an increase to the federal child benefit. The payments are going up about 2% for eligible parents, which works out to increases of between $135 and $160 annually. For those who have children under the age of 6, they'll receive more than $8,100 per child. For those with children between 6 and 17 years old, it's up to more than $6,800 per child. The benefit has been adjusted to inflation, and roughly 3.6 million Canadians will see the increase. Lower gas prices helped to bring inflation down in June. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more.
Inflation for June came in at 2.8%, down from 3.2% in May. The Middle East conflict spiked oil prices in the spring, but between May and June, they were down 10%. Prices for travelers' accommodation in Ontario and BC were both up about 20% in June. Both cities hosted World Cup games. Food prices grew at a slower pace. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 71.10 US. West Texas Intermediate is up to $83 US a barrel. Western Canadian Select up over $3 to $68.35. And the TSX lost 303 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
WestJet is adding its first nonstop flights from Calgary to Merida, Mexico. The new route starts this winter. The airline says the weekly flight will support the growing demand for travel options to Mexico and the Latin Caribbean. Andy Burnham became the UK's 7th Prime Minister in a decade today.
It requires my generation of politicians to raise our game and rise to the new challenge.
Burnham pledged to deliver a new economic model and revive a nation fed up with a revolving door of leaders. The former Greater Manchester mayor said politicians had failed to bring the stability needed to raise living standards, something he vows to change. Buckingham Palace released a photo as the king formally invited Burnham to form a government following his election as Labour Party leader. He replaces Keir Starmer, who was ousted by his own lawmakers a month ago. Spain won the World Cup, but Calgary businesses also emerged victorious. Still to come, how bars and restaurants benefited from boisterous fans. A local podcaster in Edmonton is trying to keep World Cup fever alive, attempting to organize the world's longest soccer game. The event is part of K-Days, held at the Edmonton Expo and Exhibition Grounds. Money raised from the game will go toward Alberta Dreams. The charity grants dreams to children with chronic or life-threatening illnesses. The world record for longest soccer game is 60 hours. This one is set to last 72. The 2026 World Cup champions have barely had time to catch their breath after Sunday's dominant victory over Argentina.
¡Vamos España! ¡Vamos!
The party is still likely going on in Madrid after a parade through the streets of the capital. Close to 2 million people gathered, joining the players to savor the moment. The team arrived home today after their 1-0 win over Argentina. It was the country's second World Cup victory. Before the parade, the squad was greeted by Spain's king and prime minister. Spanish fans weren't the only ones celebrating. The local soccer community and businesses here both say it has been a stellar 5 weeks.
Vamos España, vámonos! Claro que sí! Woo!
Thousands of fans cheered on the World Cup final at a Stephen Avenue watch party. And regardless of what side you were cheering for, local soccer fans won.
Look at the excitement around here. That's amazing. Yes, woo!
It's been the greatest summer ever. Best summer of our lives. I got to go to Vancouver. Insane experience. This is even better. Everything's been amazing.
My entire life, I've been dreaming about this since I was a little kid. And it's the first time I've got to experience one in Canada. Best time I've ever had. The best beginning of my summer is amazing, man.
It's really great to see everyone come out and to see all the support for both teams and for the World Cup.
Soccer organizations say the 5-week tournament helped the sport pick up momentum.
The energy, the excitement, the interest in soccer this entire summer has been next level. So many fans, so many families looking to get involved, and we're really excited to welcome them to the sport this summer.
The World Cup's been huge for us, honestly. Like the Vancouver Whitecaps game, having so many people come to that, it was honestly amazing.
I feel like soccer, it's pretty popular here, but it's not that big, and I think it's so cool to see the whole city come out and kind of just bond over one thing.
The business community also celebrated.
The midweek games have been outstanding to see fill up, and again, having the top 4 seeds get to the semis has been really great.
See right behind us, like an incredible opportunity for these businesses to get more traffic on a Sunday, which would typically be, obviously a quieter day down on Stephen Avenue.
Businesses enjoyed 5 weeks of watch parties and events, greatly boosting numbers.
We've heard anywhere from 20 to 30% up from last year, especially at the local pubs that are big soccer places.
It's through events like this that we get to make sure that downtown is economically vibrant and do events like this. So this is really important, and we love doing things like this.
Tommy Osborne, CTV News, Calgary.
And the Calgary Minor Soccer Association says it hopes to continue the legacy of this World Cup by making soccer more accessible to children through increased programming and lower costs. Well, tonight will probably be a very nice night to go to the park and kick around a soccer ball.
Yeah, enjoy it and enjoy the better air quality that we have now. Run around a lot right now because there will be times that it will actually feel and smell a little smoky out there. And the humidity will build back in, and certainly the heat. So hopefully you're ready for the heat to return here because this is a long stretch of it. 26 degrees for tomorrow. With the humidity, you'll feel closer to 29. And again, smoky at times. That will bring us likely to the moderate level of that air quality health index. Right now we're low. And then really we have a lot of days in the 30s over these next 10 days. All right, weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate. And Libby Goodless sent this in. I'm not 100% sure where she took it, but this is the day pretty much in most communities in southern Alberta, right? We had a good amount of sun, we had beautiful weather, and this is a stunning picture. So
it's gorgeous.
Yes.
Very Alberta.
Thank you, Libby.
Yeah, and thank you for your company tonight. We hope you have a terrific evening. We'll see you again tomorrow.